Inspiration. Now, when people think of inspiration, they often think of an old-timey artist who is sitting outside and he's looking at the nature and he's so marveled by what he sees. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so magnificent. That is what I feel like most people think of when they think of inspiration. They think of an artist all of a sudden coming across something that just, boom, hit them in the face. All of a sudden now they're like, I can create art. This is inspiration. This is beautiful. This is magnificent. And to me, that isn't always the case. Now, as somebody who is an artist, in case you didn't know, this YouTube channel is about art, which is why I'm creating this video. Hi, everybody, by the way. nice to see y'all again. Silo Draw here. Inspiration to me, at least, is not so complicated and so grandiose. Inspiration to me is when you watch, look at, see something that instantly builds something up inside of you that makes you want to produce something of your own. That feels like a really good example, actually, of what inspiration is. And I often get my inspiration from a lot of different things. Growing up, I used to watch Cartoon Network all the time, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, all those things, etc. I used to watch, and I still watch anime. Let's not kid ourselves. I still watch anime. And I used to watch these things, and still do watch things, movies, and all this stuff. And I just feel this bubbling up inside of myself, right? I just feel like this. I get this urge to make something, and this something is obviously inspired by whatever I just watched, but also I want to add a little bit of myself into it. Now, obviously, if you've seen my artwork, which hopefully you have, if not, it popped up on Scream, the movie? My art popped up everywhere. Here. I'm not actually placing them because that'd be too much time. Sorry, editing me. I'm trying not to make a lot of work for you, but here we go. But if you look at my artwork, you can see obviously that I have huge inspiration / also do fan art, which I do a lot of fan art. And the reason for that is because when you're a small upcoming artist, most people don't want to look at your original characters, your original stories, because it's not anything they know. Most people like to see something they know. They like to see the familiar, see stuff that they can connect with, see stuff that they already know. Like, nobody wants to see my bunny guy here. Nobody would really want to buy Bunny Guy, but people would want to buy a picture of Wolverine right here. But see, the thing I always try to add in every piece of my art, whether fan art, whether it's my original character, or whether it is me having to draw a cat, because I had to draw cats at shows. Yeah, like sketch like people's cats. They send me a picture and be like, "Can you draw my cat?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can draw your cat." I'm not saying that to diss anybody. I'm just saying, like, if you were to ask me, what do you think you're gonna draw today? Your cat wasn't one of them. But in each piece of my art, right? Each piece, I try to put a little bit of myself in it. I try to put something that is me inspired. Now, what do I mean by that? There's a thing called style that most people say. And style is often when you create something, it has pretty much you in it. I'd say, to me personally, style is when somebody creates something and it has something uniquely you in it. It has something that you specifically bring to the table or put inside a piece of art, pictures, movies, heck, t-shirts. It's all part you, right? The style is you. You put something into every piece of work that is specifically from you. That's what style is. It's specifically a part of you that you put into work. But that's what style is to me, right? Putting a piece of yourself in your artwork. And obviously you can see that in my pieces of art, that it is obviously Wolverine or Goku or Vegeta or somebody, but it still has a unique part of me in it, if that makes any sense to you at all. So style, and here you go. So style is in every bit of what you create, right? That's what makes something you, right? So although I may make fan art of Goku or Vegeta or whoever, it still has a piece of me that people can instantly recognize. Hey, I've seen that kind of style before. That's Silo Draw's style. And honestly, that's awesome. It's really cool when you have a style. And, making fan art's awesome, but also making your own stuff too is just as important. And that's where I think inspiration comes in. So inspiration, like I said previously before, is when you look at something, you watch something, and it makes you feel this urge to create or make something of your own. That's when you're inspired to do. That's what like inspiration is for me. Although I create pieces of fan art, right, I do also create my own original stuff, which is inspired by other things. Now, when you make artwork or things that are inspired by something, there's obviously going to be a little bit of it in there, right? People could look at my art and see, oh yeah, I can definitely tell that you were inspired by Dragon Ball Z because, you know, this, and this. Or I can see, people have said like, oh, I can see that you were inspired by like the way Jim Lee creates his faces or his eyes or his mouth. And I'm here to tell you guys that there's nothing wrong with being inspired by something and taking something out of it. My art teacher at college told me that artists steal everything. Now, let me put this in perspective for you real quick. So, an artist steals from real life, correct? When you see real life paintings, when you see a scenery painted, or you see, you know, things created realistically, it's taking away from real life, right? And a lot of artists do is they look at what their favorite artist does and they take away a little bit of something from them to create their own style. People look at their favorite artists and they take away bits and pieces that they like, and they use those bits and pieces that they like to create their own style. You're inspired by somebody else, but you're not directly taking exactly their style, but you're taking something they like. Let's say, for example, now let's look at Dragon Ball Z. If you can see here, you can take inspiration away from anything, right? For me personally, Dragon Ball Z growing up was one of the hugest inspirations ever. And you can see that clearly in my art, right? You can see that I base some of the eyes, the way the eyebrows work, some of the lining, some of the way the body structure works, the way characters are designed. You can say that I've taken away inspiration from that. But just because I take inspiration doesn't mean that I'm necessarily recreating Akira Toriyama's style exactly. Does that make any sense? Growing up, some of my teachers would tell me that I was wrong for recreating what I saw, right? I would draw Goku Super Saiyan, and I'd draw it by myself, on my own, but looking at the picture, and they told me that was wrong. Now, obviously, when you're a growing artist, this is really important, in my opinion. This is how you're able to develop and grow as an artist, right? If you recreate things that other artists have created, you learn how the body works. You learn how anatomy works. You learn how you like your hands to be drawn. You like how, like, distance, perspective, thank you, holy smokes. You learn a lot of the fundamentals from drawing somebody else's artwork. Now, am I saying this is okay forever? No. I'm saying as when you're developing, as you're growing, as I was younger and trying to create art, redrawing these things helped me understand the fundamentals of art. And as I got older, I started to realize I wanted to do my own style and started to find ways that I like to draw things. I found out the way I like to draw eyes. I found out the way I like to draw hands. I found out the way that I like to draw a whole bunch of different parts, clothes, everything. And I started to develop my own style. But at the beginning, that was so crucial for me because I didn't know how to draw anything. So using references and using things to grow yourself is important because it helps you understand and gain the fundamentals. If you're inspired by something, then draw something after it. Am I saying draw it and sell it? No, because that's when things get a little muddy. But we'll talk about that another time. But I'm saying when you're trying to practice, when you're trying to grow as an artist, drawing and getting inspired by other things is okay. Having inspiration from things and putting it in your pieces is okay. That's how you grow as an artist. That's how you develop. And these inspirations are okay because they're what egged you on to start creating. They're the thing that helped you want to create things in the first place. So it's okay to have inspiration and use a little bit of it in your art. Like I said earlier, artists take from other artists all the time. The way they do things, lighting, all this stuff. It's okay to take from others and manipulate it into your own thing. That's how you grow as an artist. That's how you develop. Now, obviously, I'm saying all this as a low-tier amateur artist who is just trying to get out into the world and try to make it a profession. But I'm saying this to you because I wish I would have learned all these things before. I wish somebody would have sat down and told me all these things, but I had to figure out by myself. I had to figure out all these things. So I'm just trying to help other artists, other creators, to let them know that it's okay to be inspired by something. It's okay to use something as a reference. It's okay to use these things as stepping stones. They're going to help you grow and develop. Now, what I'm not saying is it's okay to stay there. It's obviously not okay to just keep recreating, and never ever develop yourself. I'm just saying inspiration and references and all that stuff is so key to develop your own style, your own art, and get you creative and get you creating things. It's important. Never stop creating, never stop being inspired, and you'll never stop growing. Now, am I saying it's wrong to be inspired by nature by the beginning? No. I often find myself sometimes looking outside, looking at nature, and being inspired by how beautiful everything is and how gorgeous and amazing everything is. And it inspires me to create things, but I also get inspired by things like movies, like Dragon Ball Z, animes, comic books. All those things inspire me, and it's okay to be inspired, and it's okay to take things out of things that you're inspired by and create something of your own. So what I'm telling you today is be inspired, be creative. It's okay to use things as references as long as you grow from them, as long as you can create your own style, as long as it aggs you to keep going, as long as it encourages you to keep moving forward. It's okay. And keep creating. And it may suck. I mean, trust me, I'm on the bottom level too. It sucks to be a young creator. It sucks to be a growing creator. I've been doing this thing since I have been born. I'm currently 21 years old. I feel old, obviously not as old as other people. People will be like, oh, you're 21, you're not that old. But I feel like I've been doing this for a long time and I've gotten absolutely nowhere. I just feel like now I'm starting to grow a little bit. I'm starting to be more creative. But enjoy the small times. Enjoy the journey, which I know is stupid. And I feel like my journey just started barely. And yet, when I look back, I'm very fond of those memories. I'm very fond of those early drawings. I'm very fond of those Instagram posts that I created first, those prints I created first. I'm inspired by all that stuff, even myself. I'm inspired because even when I was really crappy, and I still think my art's not great, but I'm growing, like I said. But even at the start, when I think my art was absolutely horrible, not worth selling, not worth showing to people, I did it anyways. And you want to know why? Because I knew it would help me. I knew that I wanted to create things and I wanted to show it to people. So I'm telling you today, never be afraid to create. Never be afraid to put yourself out there. Your artwork matters. You matter. Keep up the good work. And if people hate on you, it's okay. You'll get over it. No, that's bad. No, we're going to cut that out. That sucks. And if people hate on you, tell them screw you. Later.